Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a little while since I did an orchid video, so I thought I'd give you a little what's in bloom update. I have some really cool flowers right now, and I have a first time bloomer that I'm really excited to document, so I have some cool stuff to show off to you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Let's go ahead and get started. Toothless was barreling around his cage, making so much noise when I'm trying to film. We're gonna give him a bit of lettuce and hope that shuts him up. Yo, eat this. This here is my pride and joy at the moment. This is LC Roebling Beach View, which is this huge, ridiculous plant. It's one of those purpurata type cattleyas that's just incredible. This is my first time blooming it, which is awesome. I haven't had it that long. It didn't take me all that long to bloom. I think I've only had it maybe, this is the third year now, so not too bad. And I had repotted it shortly after I got it. I decided to put it in clay because it's such a huge plant. I thought a nice structured heavy pot would be good for it. Also with clay, it's helpful when you have a really big plant that needs a big pot with a lot of media, because when you have a lot of media like this, it's not all going to dry out like quickly and evenly. It's going to dry out more from the outside perimeter, and the interior is going to kind of stay wetter. So the clay is nice because it breathes really well. So these ones that kind of like to dry out between watering, it can be hard when you have a huge pot like that, because it's hard to tell if it's wet or dry because it's so big. Although I'm thrilled to have bloomed this, I'm a bit bummed because I had 5 new growths come in on this thing, which would have been a wonderful display, but only one of the new growths flowered. I think that's because I grow it outside during the summer, and that's when the new growths were coming in. But it started to get cold outside kind of early this year, I guess, and I had to bring it inside while those new growths were still growing. The first one that grew in kind of spent the longest outside. So that's the one that flowered. I think that's kind of my theory. It was the first one that grew in. It had the most time outside. The other ones were kind of still growing when I brought it in. So that's kind of my guess. These ones only got the artificial light, where this one spent most of its time outside. So makes sense to me, but I learned my lesson, just keep it outside as much as possible. So use a nice airy mix with these. I've been putting everything in my mixes lately, like leca, bark, charcoal, perlite. It's just everything. It makes this really nice, varied, coarse mix. I like there to be a lot of different textures in the mix that I use. Pretty easy growing, I guess, overall. Nothing too much to say about care. It's kind of standard cattleya stuff. I find it to be a bit thirstier than your average cattleya maybe, and definitely the more light the better. I did manage to sunburn mine a tiny bit outside, so just be careful. Yeah, I love this thing. It's huge, it's ridiculous, but I do love it. And just quickly, here are a couple of my Cymbidiums in bloom. They're both no IDs that I bought at big box stores. I believe I know the ID for that one. I'm not so sure about that one, but they're beautiful. Cymbidiums are awesome. They have these really nice, big, impressive flowers. This dusty pink one was the first one that I bought, and I love it so much. This one over here is more of like an interesting, like peachy kind of salmon color with a bit of a smaller flower and a higher flower count. Nice kind of reddish lip, really cool looking. It's been in flower for a little while now, so they're starting to age a bit, but still beautiful. Here is another nice big Cymbidium. This one's great because it has really big yellow flowers that are really cool. Got 2 spikes, and I'm pretty stoked. Let me know if you guys would be interested in a video about Cymbidiums. I really love them, but people usually have concerns about growing them. They're a bit tricky to bloom, and they're quite large, so I do really love them, and I love talking about them, so leave me a comment if you would like to see a video about Cymbidiums. Jumping over to my grow shelves, here is my Cattleya Champion Red Apple, which is this really nice compact Cattleya that I got from Norman's. It's actually on sale there most of the time. Easy growing plant, you get a lot of bang for your buck. It's a nice Cattleya, pretty compact. Look at that color. I really love the color of this thing. It looks kind of red in certain lighting, but it's really this like flaming magenta. It's just a really cool color and I love it so much. This is my Amanakara Apple Blossom. I should have staked it because I got a really funky looking display. This is a really beautiful cattleya. The flowers look a little weird right now. They're not this yellow usually. It's because they're aging. It gives it kind of this beautiful like antique look right now, but it starts off as more of like the standard kind of pink form. I really do like this thing a lot and it seems to grow pretty easy for me. I'm hoping one of these years I can get kind of a nicer display out of it. Up next is my Brassicatlia Mary Dodson, which I love. And these are my favorite kinds of hybrids. When you take two orchids that are very different looking and cross them together and you get such an interesting hybrid that is unique, but you can also see qualities from both of the parents in it. It just is so fun and exciting. So that shape, of course, is more of the nodosa shape, but you get that really interesting kind of brownish green color to the petals and sepals, which is from the Schilleriana. A bit of spotting in there too, also from the Schilleriana, and that veining on the lip. It's also nighttime fragrant and has this really cool nodosa shape. So it's just an awesome mix of both of the parents and I love it. I find the fragrance nice. It's kind of minty. It's always fun to have something that's nighttime fragrant in your collection. It's just something different and something to look forward to when you shut your lights off. Up next here is my cute little Orangus fastuosa, which is this really beautiful pure white flower on this very mini plant. It's so cute and small and awesome. Any Orangus and Graecums are really interesting to me and I'm obsessed with them right now. So I was very happy to bloom this. This is my first time blooming it. I think I got it over last summer and I'm thrilled to have it. Fragrant at night, very interesting, unique kind of fragrance to it, which I love. And it's just so cute and small. Look at all my little Angrecoids. I'm going to do a whole video about just Angrecoids, I think, because I have quite a big collection of them now. I guess we'll give honorable mention to our non-orchid companion here, which is my Pinguicula, which is blooming its head off. It's got like 10 buds, I think I counted, and it's really cool. I love having it. Jumping down to my bottom shelf here, not a ton of flowers, not any flowers right now, but I do have buds. This is a Phaeus, which is a really cool kind of terrestrial type orchid that you don't see every day. It was in spike when I bought it, but it was in a very tight, small spike, so I've been waiting a while for it to bloom. What I'm really excited about with this particular Phaeus, I've seen a lot of pictures of that like pinky purple one, but this is more of like a kind of an orange, I guess. It's an interesting looking color. And then tucked in between here is a little Ludicea discolor that I just picked up a few months ago. Got it at the same time and place as that Phaeus orchid. And I'm really excited to have one of these. They're really cool. I can't wait till it gets bigger. They look really nice when they get to be those nice big bushy. And how can you not love those leaves? Such a cool orchid. Next here is a yellow cattleya called, has one of those weird names like Big Kiss. Yeah, Big Kiss 15. And I don't know, it's just this really nice cattleya. It always has a million buds on a spike, like 10 flowers on a spike. I didn't take as good care of it this year. It looks like it has just as many buds on the spike. I wasn't expecting it to do that well, but there's definitely like 6 or 7 flowers at least, so seems pretty hardy, easy growing. I'll insert a picture of the flowers if I can find one. Just a really nice yellow cattleya. I did a thing. I got another enormous Angraecum. This is Angraecum Tomorrow Star, which is, shoot, Veitchii cross Esquipedale, and it's just got those really nice Darwin flowers that just look amazing. I already had this guy, which is the Lenford White Beauty, but this had some mealybugs for a while and it had like some leaf tip dieback. I had to cut a lot of stuff off and I was just kind of heartbroken about it, so I wanted to get another nice big Angraecum to kind of hold me over until that other one bounces back. So this one's just like pristine looking, but I had to show this thing off because it's just huge and impressive even without flowers. Now quickly checking out some of my windowsill plants. Forgive the bad lighting and the bad camera angle. It's hard to film in this corner. This here is my den firewings, which is really beautiful. The flowers last forever, and it's a really nice plant to have. It's kind of big, but this one is worth the space it takes up because it's really impressive looking. Got some nobly flowers here. A couple of my noblies bloomed pretty nicely for me. I get pretty chilly winters, so I can stick these, outside on a porch for a couple hours here and there to try to give them that rest that they need. And I just cut back on the water and stuff, and I can usually get a few flowers out of them. They usually don't bloom incredibly well for me. I'm hoping that in the future, as I get better at growing nobly type dendrobiums, I can increase the flower counts and stuff. But they grow well vegetatively for me, and I get some flowers, so I'm excited nonetheless. This one actually bloomed pretty profusely. It has dropped a lot of the flowers since it bloomed. I should have filmed it sooner, but it's got these really nice kind of dainty whitish with pink blushing on it. Nice and fragrant, bright yellow lip, very pretty. And when it was in its full glory, it looked really nice and had a lot of flowers, so I'm hoping next year it will do even better. And of course I've got this one single flower on my Miltonia Sunset. The problem with these Oncidiums is that you get them from the store in that Pro Mix stuff, which isn't the worst thing to grow an Oncidium in. But when you go to repot into bark, and I use a very fine bark, which is fine for Oncidiums, but it's still a drastic change from that Pro Mix stuff, so you tend to have a bit of a pouting phase with Oncidiums after you repot. It's doing okay. And last but not least, here is my Faul Soutien Balm, which is this really pretty, fragrant Faul, and I found it at a grocery store as like a no ID, but I smelled it, it was fragrant, so I bought it, and then I was able to ID it. I'm 99% sure that's what this is. To me, it smells like Sederia japonica, which I love because when my Sederia japonica doesn't want to bloom, I have this to smell and I get the same kind of fragrance, which is nice. All right, guys, I think that's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I hit 400 subscribers, which is amazing. Thank you, guys. 500 is my next milestone, so please subscribe. Sorry if that's annoying to hear, but getting subscribers is part of the fun of making YouTube videos, okay? Give me a break. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.